Is it okay, Ganiji?
Yes, sir, it's fine, sir.
Okay. Okay, once again, good afternoon and good morning, everyone. Today we are discussing about the National Vocational Qualification Framework, qualification system, and how digital technology can enhance the system, National Vocational Qualification Systems, to deliver quality services and produce competent TVET workforce. This is our main theme for today because this National Vocational Qualification System and qualification framework are very important element for TVET practitioners, and many countries are suffering without not having the National Vocational Qualification Framework. And those who have National Vocational Qualification frameworks or qualification frameworks, due to different coordination, lacking coordinations, it is not properly implemented. So we'll focus on it. So as we discussed, first part, I will talk about the introductory part of the National Vocational Qualification System and Framework. Then second part, Engineer Gani will present on how digital technology can support to implement National Vocational Qualification System, and with the very good examples of Pakistan. Okay, my presentation will cover what is qualification framework, what is National Vocational Qualification Framework, and National Vocational Qualification System. In third form, we call QF, NVQF, and NVQS. Second is, why do we need qualification framework? And third, what are the elements to manage National Vocational Qualification System? If we are talking about the qualification system, what are the different elements we have to manage? And examples of National Qualification Framework and NBR, NVQF. So some countries are using National Qualification Framework as a broader term, including general educations, and some countries are mentioning just National Vocational Qualification Framework. So this is my presentation outline. So I will start with the qualification framework. What is qualification framework? It is a formalized structure. So qualification framework is not a big elephant, not a big, giant things. This is just a document, a formalized structure in which there will be a learning level descriptors and qualifications. So it is a formalized structure of document where learning level of descriptors and qualifications mentions very systematic way. Similarly, qualification framework develop, assess, and improve quality educations in a number of contexts. So it develop, assess, and improve. So three aspects it will cover. And it will be like a qualification framework can be a national level qualification framework, regional level qualification framework, and international level qualification framework. So if we are talking about qualification framework, always there are like a more popular one is national qualification framework, but there are some examples of regional qualification framework, like European qualification framework and ASEAN referencing qualification framework. So ASEAN country also going to finalize it, and some international. So similarly, frameworks help to make qualifications easier to understand and compare. So if you have a qualification framework, it will make it easier to understand and compare with one qualification to another qualification, one level to another level, from level of qualification level of TVET to qualification level of general education. So it will be a very good tool to compare between two streams, okay? And qualification framework encouraged to country like a rethink and reform national policy and practice. So we have like every country has their national policies and practice in the TVET systems and qualification system. So if you have a qualification framework, when we implement it, it will guide to reform the national policy also. So that's why, especially on education, training, and lifelong learning. So these are the basic concept of the qualification framework. So now we'll talk about what is National Vocational Qualification Framework. National Vocational Qualification Framework. It is also the similar structure of, so the qualification framework is an umbrella framework, and National Vocational Qualification Framework is the part of the qualification framework. So don't be confused. This is not a complete two things. National Vocational Qualification Framework is under the qualification framework, but many countries has used only the term like National Qualification Framework. Some country has used National Vocational Qualification Framework. Even that framework, they have given one vertical line for the general education. That's why National Vocational Qualification Framework describes level, competency descriptors, and award of qualification. So the three important elements are here. Describes level, like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And competency descriptors. So in every level, what are the competencies he or she, a person has to acquire to achieve that level? And the award of qualification. Then what will be the qualification award? So three elements will be explained by this framework. That's why difference between general, qualification framework and this vocational qualification framework. In qualification framework in general educations, will not take about the competency descriptors, but there will be just like descriptors. But in vocational, because in vocations we have to focus on competency. That's why competency description will be competency descriptor. So this is a kind of example structure of NVQF. Like a level, in left hand side there is a level, and in between there is a different level of award, like a doctor level is 8, master level MTech is level 7, bachelor BTech, if we talk about in general education, bachelor, and in Tibet BTech, BSc engineering, BSc, these are level 6, diploma level 5, national vocational certificate level 4, National Vocational Certificate Level 3, National Vocational Certificate Level 2, and Level 1. And right-hand side, there is an education sector. Like if we are talking about general education, so Level 6 to Level 8 is higher education sector, higher education level. And below Level 5 is technical and vocational education. So it has, framework has clearly mentioned, even though this is a NVQF, but it has mentioned the education sector as well. That's why there is no fundamental difference, but how country will write. There's some write just NQF, some writes NVQF. But NVQF is the part of the NQF. Don't be confused, okay? So descriptors defining in the qualification framework, because this will be a very good time to share some informations about the descriptors. Most of you are aware about this NVQF and how we write the descriptors. I'm going to give only basic examples, and this is from the European qualification framework, okay? So the source is ec.europa.eu. So this is a kind of information. So in European qualification framework in level 3, like knowledge, they have categorized into three level, like knowledge level, skills level, and competence level. Okay, so attitude is considered as competence, and knowledge means theoretical and or factual. Like level 3, facts, principle, process, and general concept in the field of work of study. And skills, a range of cognitive and practical skills required to accomplish tasks and solve problems by selecting and applying basic methods, tools, materials, and information. And if you
Excuse me, sir, please, your presentation is not displaying. Please do it again.
Oh my,
Present.
somebody. Is it okay?
Yes, sir, it is okay, but you have to show your presentation.
Carry on, sir. Carry on.
Yes, sir. Now it is okay.
Okay, so in skills level, the cognitive and practical part, and competence level, basically responsibility and autonomy. This is the structure of European qualification framework. So this is the part of, like in level 3, in competence level, take responsibility of completion of tasks in work or study, adapt one behavior to circumstances in solving problems. So if you go to level 4, it's like in knowledge part, factual and theoretical knowledge in broad context. So, the knowledge, facts and theoretical part in broad concept in level 4, but in general concepts in level 3. Okay, that is the fundamental difference. And in skills part, like a range of cognitive and practical skills, accomplish tasks and solve the problems in level 3. But if you go level 4, a range of cognitive and practical skills required to generate solutions. So in this level, little bit higher, like a persons who has level 4 certificates, skills level certificates, they can generate the solutions for the specific case. And similarly in competence level, exercise self-managed within the guidelines of work or study consent. So these are some examples. So difference between level 3 and level. So because why I am presenting this, you can compare this, and for detail, if you want to study detail, please visit that website, which I have given in the title, please, like descriptors defining in the QF. Okay, this is just a sample. What's the difference between third level and fourth level in different competence, like knowledge, skills, competence. So in this way, we will write descriptors in the qualification framework. So every level there should be a clear description. And please, somebody is opening mic, please mute your mic. Be professional, okay? We don't like to request every time. And now I'm going to talk about NVQS, National Vocational Qualification System. So National Vocational Qualification System is like a kind of one of the TVET system. Like always, this National Vocational Qualification Systems is guided by National Education Policy, TVET policy, National Qualification Framework, and NVQ or NVQF, okay, National Vocational Qualification Framework. So there will be, in the National Vocational System, there will be curricula, national level curricula. There will be National Competency Standards, NCS, as an input, and teachers and assessors. So these are the input things, main input. There are other things also. I am just highlighting key elements of input. Curricula, National Competency Standards, NCS, teachers who teach in the TVET system, and assessors who played role as assessor for the National Skill Testing or National Competency Assessment System. And in process level, there will be a Sector Skills Council. In every country, they have their Sector Skills Council, including private sectors, and TVET institutions, industries, and awarding bodies. So who will award this certificate? There might be different awarding bodies. Like if you take the examples of UK, there are more than 100 awarding bodies. But in our countries, not much. Like mostly in Asia Pacific, the government awarding body is there, but some countries they have private sector as well, like industry also used as awarding body. And at the end, with this process, there will be a graduate with qualifications, either graduate from TVET system, like a regular education system, or competency assessment system with certain qualifications, either level 1, level 2, level 8, or level 10. Then this process will continue. Either this graduate, after when we complete the graduations from our NVQS system, it will give some input to the policy, as I discussed before. Please mute your microphone. Who is disturbing this? And another way, with qualifications, it will give feedback to the input level also. That's why this arrow one arrow will go to give feedback to the policy and qualification framework. Another arrow will go to input for the input level, like infrastructure, assessor, teachers. We have to revise national competency standard and curricula as per the market feedback.
Sir, please stop. Mr. Rashidul Islam,
Yeah.
he did once again. Please do it again.
I have to do
Rashidul
again?
Islam, sir, please don't do it again.
Huh?
Sir,
Is it
please,
what-
you present it again now.
Oh my God. So who is that? Can you tell Virgil to Felix to make out from registration?
Yeah, he already out, sir. He already out.
Okay. Still sound is there.
Yeah, it is fine, sir. Start.
Okay. Sound is still there. Okay. So this is that's why national vocational qualification systems always give feedback to the policy level and for the input level. So this system is very important. So this is the overall qualification systems. So why do we need qualification framework? So basically, we need qualification framework, either qualification framework, national qualification framework, or NVQF, recognition of prior learning. One important thing is for RPL, we need this. Another is vertical and horizontal movement of the students or learners. People can go from the general education to vocational education to general education. That is called horizontal movement. And from level 1 to level 8, so that is called vertical movement. So qualification framework will help for both movement, vertical and horizontal. That's why we need qualification framework. And basis to reference in regional and international level. So if you have a very good qualification system, qualification framework, and it will be a reference document for the regional and international level. Based on that particular country's qualification framework, other country or international agencies will take a reference. So, and they will start to compare with another countries. And basis to award certificate of competence and qualifications. If we don't have qualification framework, we cannot award certificate and competence, because what will be the benchmark things? That's why qualification framework will work as a benchmark document for the award certificate and competencies and qualifications. Okay. Similarly, translational device. This is translational device for comparing qualification. This qualification, if you have a qualification framework, and if we have a regional qualification framework, like European qualification framework, so British qualification, or let's say French qualifications, or German qualifications, or Switzerland qualification, they can compare each other taking benchmark with EU qualification. Similarly, there is a ASEAN qualification referencing framework. They are developing ASEAN qualification framework, not yet finalized. So it will help to each and every countries for reference. Maybe the qualification level 7 of Philippines might be level 8 of Malaysia, or level 6 of Malaysia, or level 5 of Singapore. That's why this type of qualification framework will work as a translational device, for the comparing qualifications from one country to another countries, and regional qualifications will be the benchmark to compare different countries. Similarly, this is a neutral reference point. If there will be a debate of the competencies and level of competencies and qualifications. So somebody might claim I have level 8, somebody might claim I have level 6. So if you have a very good, very well structured and well described qualification framework, and this will be a neutral reference point. So qualification framework will guide this is what level, okay? That's why we need qualification framework. So what are the elements of National Vocational Qualification System? I already talked in that NVQS. So policies of the Tibet policies, education policies, and different laws related to industry, laws related to, Tibet, laws related to apprenticeship, laws related to RPL, laws related to, awarding system, laws related to Secretary Skills Council, everything which is related with National Vocational Qualification System. And another important element is NVQF, National Vocational Qualification Framework. That's why NVQF is a structured document which is element of the NVQS. Overall systems, one element, okay? Similarly, Tibet system, our regular Tibet system, Secretary Skills Council, and National Competency Standards. Some countries use National Competency Standards, some countries say Occupational Skill Standard, and some countries say Skills Standard. So it depends upon the country's definition, okay? And assessors who involve in the assessment of the RPL and the certification systems. Assessment centers, because assessment center is vital element for the quality certification system. If assessment center is very poor, if assessment center is like sometimes, regular training institute cannot be an assessment center. Assessment centers should have other facilities also, because it will be focused on the assessment, not the delivery of the class. That's why industry can be assessment center, technical school can be assessment center, any others, and well-developed and well-developed assessment center, and particularly for the Tibet assessment and certifications. And test items banks is another important element. We should have a very rich test item bank, and it should be very flexible, and test items should be revised frequently. Similarly, awarding body. Who are the awarding body? That's why these are the key elements of the National Vocational Qualification System. There are many others. I haven't highlighted those, but I have highlighted only the key elements here, okay? And this is some examples. So this is the example of Philippines qualification framework. In Philippines, the government of Philippines will not call National Vocational Qualification Framework. It is called Philippines Qualification Framework, National Qualification Framework, okay? It has level 8 level, and grade 12 is considered as the basic educations, grade 10 and grade 12. So, and in technical education and skills development part, NC1, NC2, NC3, NC4, and diploma, there are 5 levels. And similarly, if you go to higher education's part, after, diploma graduates also can go to baccalaureate. That is, baccalaureate is considered as bachelor, and post-baccalaureate, postgraduate, and doctoral and postdoctoral. So level 8 is postdoctoral in Philippines. This is called higher education's level. So this is from both, like from grade 12 also they can go to baccalaureate, from diploma also they can go to baccalaureate. This is for detail you can visit website of the Philippine Qualifications Framework. And this is the example of Sri Lanka. And source is VTSI, Government of Lanka. They have 7 different levels. So level 1 is work under direct supervision, level 2 work under guidance, level 3 work independently and quality mentions, and level 4 work independently, level 5 self-working and give guidance. And so up to level 4 they consider as certificate level. And if you go to the vocational level is 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is if somebody passed level 4, that is equivalent to certificate level 1, certificate level 2, certificate level 3, certificate level 4. And level 5 is diploma in Tibet, and level 6 is higher diploma, that is in the Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka degree, master level, master is considered, and bachelor is considered as level 7. So there are 2. So this is the NVQ level of they call National Vocational Qualification, NVQ levels. So in Sri Lanka, there are 7 levels. And if you see the Australian qualification framework, that is called AQF, and this is very good qualification framework. Many countries like Philippines also takes benchmark of the AQF. and many countries has taken benchmark of Australian qualification framework. In Australian qualification framework, there are level 10. In Australian qualification, level 10 is considered as doctoral, and level 9 is master. See, and graduate diploma, graduate certificate level 10. So these are the university, and if you go to TAFE, training and further educations, like a vocational path, TAFE is called technical and further educations. So there is like a graduate diploma is in both general education and TAFE system. They have graduate certificate also. They have bachelor honors degree also, bachelor degree, associate degree, advanced diploma, and certificate level 4, certificate level 3, certificate level 2, certificate level 1, and senior secondary certificate of education, that is higher secondary. So level 1 to level 10. So this is the Australian qualification framework. So I gave you 3 examples. Some, like in Australia, they don't say Australian vocational, they said Australian Philippines also qualification framework. So don't be confused what term is right. Either qualification framework or NBQ, but if you mention general and vocational both, it will be better to mention qualification framework. Okay. And this is the European qualification. So this is the regional level qualification framework. See, this is the European qualification framework. So European qualification framework, they have also level 8, level 1 to level 8. Level 8 and 7 is considered as academic level. And that is academic level is bachelor, master, and doctorate. And post upper secondary level is 6 and 5. And in Tibet, this one, Tibet like higher national diploma and higher national certificate, upper secondary diploma or vocational diploma, secondary schools with no diploma, and primary schools. So level 1 is primary school. That level 1, 1, 2 is primary level, 3 is secondary level, 4 is upper secondary level, 5 and 6 is post upper secondary, and 7 and 8 is academic level. So according to European qualification framework there. So if you see this, based on that, I have presented one Tibet example like maintenance. So maintenance mechanics is considered as either 3 or 4 level based on the upper secondary or secondary diploma. So they call maintenance mechanics. And higher national diploma belongs to maintenance technicians for the occupation title. And maintenance manager and supervisor, vocational teachers consider either bachelor or master. Okay. So this is the classifications for the maintenance workers, maintenance technicians in the European college. This is just an example. Okay, thank you very much. These are my presentations. So now I'm going to request Mr. Ghani to present about the, how digital technology and software can boost to strengthen national vocational qualification systems with more examples of Pakistan and some other countries. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please put in the message box. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. Once again, good morning to all of you. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, mabuhay. Hello, Dr. Saab, are you listening?
Listening.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good morning to all of you once again. The today webinar topic is digital innovation in TVET to HINAS NVQF. Before I'm going to start my presentation, let me share you one incident which was happened with me. In my previous job, a person came to my office and asked me, I need your help. I said, how can I help you? He said, I got a job in Dubai and my employer submitted a request to QAB, Qualification Awarding Body, to validate and verify the certificate in order to confirm the job. I said to him, I'll discuss with the concerned authorities and get back to you. When he left my office, I went to my boss and I discussed with my boss that overseas employees are facing very difficulties to verify and validate the TVET certificates from TVET providers. It is a manual and very lengthy process, and sometimes they did not get the job due to delayed. Therefore, we have discussed and decided we have to use the technology to automate the process and validate the certificate of the pass-out trainees on a single click by the employer. Finally, we have developed a system. The question is that why do I tell you this story? Because my objective of this presentation is to share you digital application that overcome these kind of issues in TVET system, because this is one of the issue that has to be resolved in order to improve the socio-economic condition for the overseas employer and the in-country employer. The goal of my presentation is to share the digital innovation in TVET sector in order to enhance the national vocational qualification system in terms of certification, registration, and assessments. I'll share you top system of TVET that can guarantee to enhance the overall process of NVQF system. Now, this is a very good quotation quote by Jeffrey Chase that people are not only divided by ideology but also by technology. Are you agree with these statements? Yes, I am agree. Because it is absolutely right. Yes, sir.
Your presentation is not came.
Okay, sir. What happened? I think sir is displaying. Okay, I'll do it again.
Yes, it is displaying.
Your presentation already displayed. Please continue.
Yes. Now it's displaying. Sir, now it's displaying.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Now it's displaying.
No.
It's loading.
Okay, it's loading.
Now,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So this is a very right quotation nowadays in our life. You know that in our home we are, as a family, we are divided by the technology. Now kids, for example, kids are using tablets to play games. Parents are using mobile phone, laptop to do work, office work, or other things. So this is the divide by the technology in the environment, in the digital technology environment. On the other hand side, like the TVET donors, like European Union, other donors, they are looking those institutes who have very good digital system. Means they are also dividing the institutes with the ideology and the technology. If you have a very good technological system in your institute, you can easily get the funding from the donor. So technology is very important nowadays. But the question is that digital technology matter, but how it matter to us? Because digital skills are driving competitiveness in today's economy, and countries below the digital divide must struggle to bring their population to a level where they can catch up and then keep up. So it means that like big data, the NVQF system, National Vocational Qualification System, in the future has a very huge data. We need technology, how to analyze the big data, how to check the assessor in the big data, how to find out the assessment center. So it's very important element for the future perspective in the TVET sector. Like Industry 4.0, we in future we have smart labs, smart factories. So we have to change our work processes and our working styles in TVET sector. Now, why we have to change in TVET? Because digital technologies are major driver for change. There is certainty about change along with uncertainty about the pace and modalities of change, because digital technology that can change your system and processes in your working style life, as well as it depends on your pace and modalities of change. Change processes differ between countries, economic sector, companies, occupation, demand, and high order transversal qualification keys. So it is also depends on your economic sector of the countries. It is also depends on your occupations. It is also depends on transversal qualification. So that's the effect in the TVET system of the technology. Now, how adult employer experiencing the technological change? You see, this picture present us that different sector, different technologies are applying, using, and to do their job. For example, in this survey, 40% of the adult employees have seen the technology they use in the workplace changing in the past decades, making some people jobs more automation, towards automation. 47% have seen changes in working methods or practices. For example, if you see 57% of adult employees in ICT have seen changes in their jobs during the past 5 years, as compared to 27% of those in the sector of the accommodation and catering. You see how different employees are experiencing technical changing in their sectors, including ICT, including accommodation, catering, food services, including construction. These are the numbers. If we cannot change ourselves, we will not survive. So technology transforming our lives in study, in the working lifestyle, during play, during life. Everything is changed by the technology. So my question over here with you, because technological change the process of the working of an employee. My question to you, in future, do you think robots will take your job? Do you think robots will take your job? Robot will be replaced by a human?
No.
This is a question to you. Okay, now for example, accountants and auditor occupation. Do you think how much percentage of chance is there the robots will take over the jobs of the accountants and auditor? Do you have any idea? 94% of these jobs will be automated and will be taken over by the computers and the robots. 94%. In the future, these jobs will be die. Similarly, economics occupation, how much percentage chance is there? 43% is chance is there. The robots and the computer will taking over the jobs. Now, as a TVET teachers and instructor, do you think how much percentage chance is there the robots will take over your job? How much percentage chance there?
40, 15.
Only 1%. Only 1%. Can you believe it? In future, robot will not take over your job. Only 1% is chance there where robot will take the job of an instructor or teacher. Why this is happening? Because those jobs which are repeated. Please mute your microphone. Mute your microphone. I humble request, please mute your microphone. Okay, why instructor and teacher job will not take it over by the robots? Because the jobs which are repetitive in nature, which are static jobs, which are continuous jobs, that jobs will be controlled by the robots, controlled by the machines. But in the job where the analytical thinking, where the decision making is required, that job will not be taken over by the robot. That's the impact of the technology in our systems. That's the impact of the technology now. So we have to think, we have to change. Now, how I did get this data, from where I got this data. you have to ask this question. I got this data from a website, IBM, Institute of Business Management in Philippines. They conducted a survey.
Dear Mr. Ghani, I can't hear because someone noisy.
Pardon. Yes, a lot of noise.
Hello, Mr. Mohammad Qureshi, please mute your microphone. Thank you.
Faisal Habib, please mute your microphone. Faisal Habib.
Mohammad Yusuf Ali.
Okay.
Please mute your microphone.
Yes. I do microphone. I'm getting ready, but not joining now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, IBM Institute of Business Management Philippines, they conducted a study in which they tried to find out which jobs going to be die, which jobs going to be replaced by the robots. Like, if you are really interested to get the result of this survey, you can go type in your Explorer www.willrobotstakemyjobs.com. You see which occupation will be die in the future and which occupation will not be automated. So you will get all the result over there. Now, in this scenario, we are trying to move towards the digital TVET concept, digitalization of TVET system. Why we are moving towards? Because there are number of benefits for the digital TVET concept. Number one, the most effective, the cost efficiency, because we are always trying to improve the cost of our systems, decrease the cost of the training performance, training system. Second is the faster and quick performance. Another benefits for the digital TVET system, it will give you the quick result and the faster result. For example, the example I shared in the beginning, a person is really interested to verify the certificate from the qualification awarding body or from the TVET provider, has to be automated. So it will, on a single click, that will be validated and verified. Another benefits of digital system is improved quality of the TVET programs. And the last one is the not prone to human errors. There will be no human errors. This means that technological advancement can affect employment by making worker unnecessary through automation. So that's a technological advancement effect. Now, why digital NVQF system? That's very important because we are always trying from last 2 decades how to improve the efficiency and quality of the TVET system by improving the registration process, by conducting the credible assessment, by providing the certification system, online certificates, by providing the training to the assessors, storing the national competency standards, institutional profile. It means overall administration of the institution should be digitalized in order to improve the efficiency and quality of the TVET system that will enhance the national vocational qualification system overall. Now, there are 4 steps to integrate digital technology in TVET. It was already discussed in our previous webinar. Number 1, you have to plan. You have to develop one plan. Then you have to build. Then you have to start its creation. Then you have to start its implementation. That's the 4 steps. I will not discuss in detail because it was already discussed in previous webinar. Now, after that, I'll share you digital applications which already enhance the NVQF system, because since last 1 decade, number of developed countries, they develop their NVQF system. Now they are trying to thinking how to further enhance the national vocational qualification system that will support the employer as well as that will support the trainees. So for that purpose, they develop different application to enhance the performance of the national vocational qualification system. For example, the number 1 is the national vocational qualification registry system, which is developed by Pakistan, NAVTEQ, National Vocational Technical Training System, in which a registry system, it's a national data management system of the enrollment of the trainees, registration, certification, and status of the competency-based training and assessment of the graduate. Additionally, this system provides you comprehensive information regarding NVQF that includes national qualification, what type of national qualification institutes are offering, competency standards, as already Dr. discussed that competency standards are one of the elements of the NVQF system. So, and competency standards should be digital, should be online. qualification awarding body, certification awarding body data, institution informations, register assessor poll. This data should be online in order to check how many assessors are available in different occupation in different sectors. Student information, including formative assessment and summative assessment, and assessment system. These all are the elements of the National Vocational Qualification Systems, including NVQF. So these should be online and should be archived in a digital database system. How Pakistan did it, I'll share you this. Now it's loading. It's loading, Dr. Sahab. Hello.
Yes, it's loading.
Yes. Go ahead, Ghaniji.
Yeah,
Now the NVQF registry system is displaying.
Yes.
NVQF registry system. So this is the system that is developed by Pakistan National Vocational Technical Training Commission. All right. In this system, you see all the elements of National Vocational Qualification Systems are available. Like if you are interested to know the qualification awarding, how many qualification awarding body exist in Pakistan, you have to go and just click over here. There are 11 qualification awarding body or there in Pakistan. How many institutes are registered under this system? 734 institutes are registered under this system. How many students are enrolled so far? Competency-based training and system is
Excuse
around.
me.
Ghaniji,
Yes, sir.
Ghaniji.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Display, not display.
Not display.
Not display. Okay. Sanyog ji now displaying.
No. Yes. Coming.
Now it's
Yes,
displaying.
now,
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes, okay.
Okay, it's okay.
Now this is the National Vocational Qualification Registry System. It is developed by NAVTEC, National Vocational Technical Training Commission, Pakistan. It's an apex body that developed this system in order to enhance the National Vocational Qualification System, overall system. You know, in this platform, it's an online platform. A person who is interested to get the knowledge about how many qualification awarding body are exist in Pakistan, you see there are 11 qualification awarding body. How many institutes are offering competency-based training and assessment system in Pakistan? 734. How many students are enrolled so far? Around 100,000. How many assessors are there? Trained assessors, CBT assessor, 1,251. How many CBTA qualification they have developed so far? Which is 185. How many competencies are there? 985. You see all the data with the graphs, with the different graphs. You can do the analysis like CBTA, total CBTA 71,000 and the RPL is 27,000. You see the result. And the assessor, you see province-wise assessor. The largest assessor is in Punjab province and Sindh province the second number and so on. Then the RPL data, CBTA data, you see, institute, province-wise institute, all the data with the detailed analysis is available over here. A policy maker or a donor can come and check the performance of the NVQF system over here. You will get all the information which is required in order to develop the further policies and further new programs that will enhance overall new programs approach. You see in the reports, if you see in the reports overall status summary, how many CBT institutes are there. For example, I'll show you assessor reports. if you go assessor, qualification wise assessor summary, if you click here, now it will come. Now on the National Vocational Certificate Level 1 Electric Machine Technician, we have one assessor, okay? One assessor in only male, no female. Similarly, electrical equipment installation and repair, we have 45 assessor, okay? And so on. This is, you see, it's a big number, it's going on. Similarly, if you are interested to see a report, modular assessment report, if you click here, the assessment report will come here. Institute-wise assessment report will come here. If you click on the detail, it is loading. You see, the data is increasing day by day. That's a big data. And in after 5 or 10 years, it will be a big data. Then it will be very difficult to analyze such kind of data. Therefore, we need technology in order to analyze the data for the decision making and policy making to enhance the overall NVQF system. Similarly, in the report, we have enrollment reports, teachers training, how many teachers are trained. You see, the modular assessment is come over here. The institute is Amantech, okay? They have conducted the modular assessment, final assessment, on the job training completed, cross-cutting completed, demonstrated safety module completed, perform preventive maintenance completed. These all are the module of the National Vocational Competency, mechatronics technicians. So it is completed. That's a modular assessment. You see, all the details is available in this NVQF research system. So this kind of system is required in order to develop, in order to strengthen the National Vocational Qualification System. That is very important. Now it's displaying. The presentation is displaying. Sanyo?
Now it's coming.
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes, yes.
Okay. This is all about National Vocational Qualification Research, which is developed by Pakistan. Similarly, this is the example I already shared you the real demo. And similarly, Sri Lanka, they also develop a very good system. Territory Vocational Education Commission system. They also develop very good system. All the information, all the elements related to National Vocational Qualification System, you can go Sri Lankan TVEC system website. You will get all the information such as assessor registry, such as information on dashboard, including institute information, assessor details, NVQF certificate holder. The example which I shared you. If you are really interested to verify, to validate the certificate of a pass out trainee, you can go and click on this system and you just verify the certificate. I'll show you. Now this is, now it's displaying.
Yeah,
Sri
coming,
Lankan.
coming. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, this is the Territory Vocational Education Commission by Sri Lanka. Okay, they also develop a very good system. Okay, they have all the information to enhance the National Vocational Qualification System. I'll show you only one. If you are interested to verify the certificate of the pass out trainee, you just click here, National Vocational Qualification Certificate Holder, click here, and you go for another link. And in that link, you have to click the certificate inquiry. Now you see by NIC, by certificate number, by back serial number. You can, if you have a certificate number, just write it down here and click. You can verify the certificates, original or the fake certificates. You see, this is the enhancement of the National Vocational Qualification System.
Dhaniji,
Yes.
What is this?
you have to redo it.
Okay.
Now, coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So on the
Yeah.
if you click on the NVQF certificate, if you click on the NVQF certificate holder, okay, it will go for the another link. In that link, it will ask to you, okay, please provide the NIC number, national identification number, or the certificate number or the booklet number. If you put that data on the text box, if you click submit, then it will give you the result. Okay, the certificate is original or the fake certificate. So this kind of system is required in order to validate the certificates of the pass out trainees for the employer perspectives as well as the trainee perspective. So another important elements for the national for the qualification development is the training need analysis. Like in the DECOM workshop, Sunny already discussed, there are a number of tools are available. If you are really interested to do the training need analysis online during the COVID-19 time, you can use menti.com. You can use menti.com. All right. Now I am requesting you, all of you, please, you can use your mobile phone and go to www.menti.com and use the code 976389. Then it will show you the real live demo. Please use menti.com right now, www.menti.com, and use the code 976389. Please use menti.com. Sanyog, are you using?
Not display.
Please use menti.com. Use this code 976389.
Yes, I use.
Not display, sir.
Yes, I use.
Yeah, it's coming.
Please do not put the space between the code. Do not put the space. Directly write 976389. Okay. Now it will give you, you see the results. What skills do modern vocational teacher is needed? Now you are getting skills requirement from different stakeholder. You see people are responding. You see the number is increasing. In this way, you can get that skills training requirement for the future program, for the new training program. Okay. Now you go for the next slide. What are the duties and responsibility of a teacher in future? Do you see the next question? Do you see the next question?
Yes.
Yes, I see.
Yes.
Okay. You see the result is coming. Basically, all the 21st century skills, engaging in digital learning, one person, adopt the IR form, mentoring, improve their skills in teaching, facilitate the training and the education through digital tech. All right. This is, you see, this is like a wall in DECOM. In DECOM, you can get the data, you can get the task and the job description from the different stakeholder through using this technology, and after that you can do the analysis. It is like a DECOM chart. Okay, so you can use these kind of technology in order to get that training need analysis to enhance the national vocational qualification system.
Wow.
All right, you got the idea?
Mohammad Imran Hussain sir, please mute your mic.
Okay, now you have got the idea how to use the menti.com in order to do the training and analysis online. Okay, what is Mentimeter? It's like an online tool to prepare, build interactive presentation with easy to use online editor. It will support you to engage different audience, maybe employer, maybe trainers, maybe trainees, and after that you can do the follow up, do the analysis of your result on the presentation. So that's the advantage of the Mentimeter. So that can be used in order to get the skills requirement for the future training program. Now, another system which is developed by Pakistan, NAFTEC, digitization of M&D system in TVET. We already talked about the monitoring and evaluation system in our previous webinar. Now we are more focusing toward the digitization of this concept. You know that like in Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and India, our institutes are geographically spread in different faraway location, remote areas. It is very difficult to do the monitoring of these institutions on regular basis because we have number of constraints like visit all institute with the regular interval of time for the M&D purpose and for the planning and management of decision making. So it is very difficult to conduct the regular monitoring of evaluation of the institutions. So we have to come up with the technological solution of digitization is the prerequisite for the effective and efficient of TVET monitoring and evaluation. This digitized M&D system to monitor the operational status and quality assurance status of the institution. So this is a system developed by Pakistan. How it looks like, this is the system. You see, in this system, all the important elements related to the institution as well as the national vocational qualification system, it's available. If you are really interested to check the staffing and training status of the staff, you can go and click here. If you are really interested to check the enrollment of an institution, you can go and click here. If you're really interested to check the accreditation status of the institution, you can go and click what is the status of the accreditation of the institution from international, from APEC, from local NAFTEC. Similarly, if you want to check the academic performance online, you can go and click on the academic performance. If you're really interested to do the CBTA monitoring, go and click on this link. Okay. If you're really interested to check the live attendance reporting system, if you go and click here. If you are interested to check the budget utilization of the institution, just go and click here, and so on. You see, everything is digitized. No need to physically visit of the institution. Institution has to upload the data, and that data will be used by the headquarter for decision making for different policy purpose. So this is the concept of the digitized monitoring and evaluation system. It is already implemented in Pakistan and running very successfully, and different donors, they appreciated this idea, and they are trying to replicate this concept in other countries as well. Now another system is the CDOS, curriculum information document online system. This system is developed in Malaysia and developed by Polysas Institutes. Okay, it's a polytechnic institutes, and the purpose of this system is to enabling learning using advanced technology, and that means inspiring learning. That's the motto of the inspiring learning using technology. It is a tool that supports the teaching and learning via the internet and used by lecturers and the students. It supports the blended learning concept. 30 to 80% of the learning material online and face-to-face modes can be accessed online. It is focused on the 21st century learning skills as well as the education 4.0, which means industrial revolution 4.0. Another system which is also developed by Polysas Institute. Yes.
Somebody entered already. You have to redo it.
Okay.
Mohammad Islam, sir, you are frequently disturbing. Please be professional. Namaskar. Mohammad Islam.
Now it's displaying?
Yes. Look, wait. It's coming.
Okay, thank you, Sanyo.
Now it's coming.
Now, e-profiling system, another system nowadays, we on the demand of the industry, we are trying to introduce new training program. All right. For those new training program, they develop a very good e-profiling system in order to check which kind of instructors available to conduct this training for the employer needs. So in the start, there's a workflow diagram. System, the system e-profiling system check the needs of the training application. Okay, that is done by the administration part. After that, system sends the training application to the training administrator. Okay, training administrator check the course content, cost and list of the participants, and proposes the list training in development program reskilling to the community meeting and change the status of application accordingly if it is approved, reject, or further improvement is KVI or done. So this is the role of the training administration. After that, if it is approved, it sends to the training coordinator who is going to conduct the training. Training coordinator applies the training, select the abilities that meet the course requirement, select the participants with the marks and ability, and key in course content and training provide information. After that, the status send the offer letter to the participants. All the requirement, all the flow will be done by the system, which is called e-profiling of the new training programs that will be based on the industry demand. Similarly, some other innovative tools related to curriculum development, which are very good tools like SINDET. It's a system for instructional delivery for TVET institution, and the QDOVEX. It's a curriculum development extractor. The purpose of QDOVEX is to calculate the learning time of a student when curriculum development process is going on. Because normally in the NVQF system, we used to develop curriculum. So in order to calculate the student time, learning time, we have to use this kind of system, QDOVEX, in order to calculate the learning time of a student. Similarly, LeadoMax, it's a learning domain extractor, and the objective of this system is to assist the lecturer understanding the 3 learning domains, which we already know: cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, affective domain. It can be used to design learning outcomes. So that's the advantage of this. So these are the system which is also developed by in Malaysian context, Polisas Polytechnic Institute. SWAM, it's a staff workload measurement for higher education system. If you are really interested to measure the workload of the teacher, you can use SWAM software. Now, everything is depends how we are going to change ourselves. So for that purpose, I'll show you one video, small video.
One of the great lessons of life is that nothing will change unless you change. Nothing will get better unless you get better. It's not about circumstance. It's not about luck. We all get the good and the bad. We all get the challenging events that arrive in our life. That's a normal part of being human. I'm talking about what you choose to do with those circumstances. If you were waiting for the economy to change, if you're waiting for your paycheck to change, waiting for your relationship to change, waiting for something to change, nothing will change. If you want change, you must change.
When you change, everything will change for you. If you want better, you must be better. And when you get better, your life will get better. You must work on yourself more than you work on anything else. You must add more value to others than anyone else does. Take a step back and look at your life closely. What can you improve? Be honest with yourself. In every area of your life, what can you improve? If you're being honest, there will be many areas you can improve. If not, you're either not human or you're lying to yourself. Commit to work on improving those areas. Remove everything unimportant in your life that can get you sidetracked from your goals and purpose. Anything that takes you further away from the life you want, eliminate it. It might be TV. It might be people in your life. It might be unhealthy habits. You know what it is. Look within. Be honest with yourself. This is your life we are talking about. Nothing is more important. Be honest with yourself. Be strong. Have the courage to live the life you want to live, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Nothing will change unless you change. Nothing will get better unless you get better. It's all about you. The road to success is hard, but it isn't impossible unless you quit. Stick it out, suffer through, show your character, and one day they might speak of you. You, the winner. You, the champion. The one who didn't quit. The one who fought back, fought with heart, with courage. If you're like most, you'll take the easy path. You won't take action. You won't decide right now to make a change. You won't take action right now on changing your life. But you're not like the rest. You wouldn't be listening to this if you were. Decide right now. This is it. I will take action right now. The second this ends, I'm going to set up my life to win. All things that take me further away from the life I want out. Positive daily habits, locked in. Working on myself daily, locked in. Reading more, learning more, committing to be better every day. Lock it in. I will receive better because I will be better. I will get change because I will change.
All right. Why I shared this video to you? Because in my beginning, I shared one example about the verification of the certificates of the pass out trainees. You see, in our countries like developing countries, we have still manual processes. If we start from the one simple process to be automated, that will change from our side. You can change yourself. Forget about to write the data in the register. Just automate a single process which belongs to you. That will change in TVET sector. So that's the purpose. Nothing will change unless you change yourselves. Thank you very much. That's a quotation from Oliver. Greatness is not where we stand, but in what direction we are moving. We must sail sometimes with the wind, sometimes against it, but sail with what we must. Not drift, nor lie at anchor. So it totally depends from which sides we are going. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, if you have any question, just you can write it down. Meanwhile, Dr. Ram will respond to the question answers.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Gan. Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ganeji, for presentations. And please go to the message box and see the questions. And now I am responding some questions. There are not much questions today. I think everybody understood these things. And like there is a one questions regarding to information about qualification, ASEAN, not Asian qualification framework. I told ASEAN qualification framework. ASEAN means Association of Southeast Asian Nations like Philippines, Malaysia. There are 10 countries. They have not finalized the qualification framework yet. They are in the process of developing qualification referencing framework. Hope soon it will be finalized. Then you can find it the ASEAN Secretariat website. And regarding this, and we are like as I mentioned, Asia Pacific Accreditation and Certification Commission. So ASEAN Secretariat and APAC, we are discussing at least if the institution accredited by APAC, we can apply that ASEAN referencing qualification framework up to that level in the beginning. So that is also one of the discussions going on. And similarly, there is another questions related to like ICT. Can we put in Fiji or somewhere? They ask the ICT in the descriptor box. They have mentioned the fourth box is the ICT, but my suggestion is, in the qualification framework level, the competency related to ICT, technology, digital, that comes to skills. Because skills level competency means cognitive skills, ICT related skills, and practical skills. So, like a cognitive skills, tomorrow we'll discuss in detail about this. So I think no need to put separate box for ICT. If some country has put, it is better, but ICT competency comes under the skills part. That is my suggestions. And there is another questions like related to in main elements, key elements of NVQS, why there is no question bank. Please read carefully. I mentioned there test item bank. Test item bank is question bank. Okay. So question bank is important. That's why there is a different terminology. I used test item bank, not question bank. And another questions from the like Sekawat Ali sir and Mazumdar sir. So far, I don't have any idea about one organizations related to international qualification framework. So far, not yet, but regional level, definitely like a European qualification framework is more active, but other regional qualification also not active so far. As I already mentioned, the second regional qualification is the ASEAN qualification referencing framework they are doing. And another development is happening in Africa, like African qualification framework, but it's still not implemented. There is a only functional qualification framework is European qualification framework. So that is the regional level things. And for international level, and it will be very difficult, you know, like a more than 200 countries standard we can't put in one, but at least like 21st century skills. 21st century skills framework is one of the like a reference document need to apply by every country to maintain their standard. So these are my responses. Hope all of you got, and there is another like what will be the percentage of theory, practical skills, and the cognitive attitude part in the qualification framework. And you know, this is related to curriculum and qualification framework. So we cannot give the exact number of percentage. That is depends upon the context and depends upon the country. But in general, like vocational level 1 to 4, it will be around 80% will be practical skills. Only 20% comes to theory. But above level 4, maybe level 5 and above, we can consider like 60-40 or 50-50, like that. So that is a kind of generic things. But in attitude part, we cannot say percentage, you know. Attitudes is a cross-cutting things. When you teach theory class, that time also you have to consider attitude. Always attitude is related with teachers, how teacher create an environment, how teacher teach the students, and how the institutional environment or values, culture of the organizations also guide to attitude. That's why in curriculum or in qualification framework, we cannot allocate this much percentage for attitude part, behavioral part. That is a cross-cutting in all cases. So these are my responses. Thank you. So hope all of your concerns are addressed. Now I would like to request Ghaniji, if there are some questions related to technical part. They have some questions like about Menti, about some software, so you can answer those things. Thank you very much. Once again, on behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to thanks.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I received only 3 questions. One from Dr. Sakawat Ali. The number 1 question is from how big data can be contribute to teaching and learning environment. Dr. Sakawat sir, basically the big data, it's a technology which can be used to analyze, process extremely complex data. All right, in like nowadays, if you are teaching to students and you are going to search on the Google for a specific topic, sometimes you did not get the desired result, because there is a huge data is available on the Google platform. For that purpose, you need a specific software, because big data technology is like not the normal regular software like Google search engine. For big data, we have different software. You have to find out those software and install, and then you have to try to find the specific knowledge or a specific data search which going to be processed for the teaching and learning environment. The next question is, what is the full meaning of NC? NC means national certificates, okay, it is not means national competency standard. Competency standards stands for CS. CS stands for competency standards, okay. The next one is, the last one is, how can we contribute TVET education in COVID-19? It's a very good question. We already addressed this question in our first webinar. Because in the COVID-19 situation, we have to stay at home. We cannot move move around to our offices or to our institution. You have to find out different massive online courses program. There are thousands of massive online courses programs available online. You can go and just find out and just register yourself and start your education. Similarly, you can go CPSC on course platform, find out the relevant course which is required by you, and just register yourself and start education. So in this COVID-19 time, you can just use internet, digital technology in order to get more knowledge on TVET sector. So these are the 3 questions which asked by different participants. I hope I address all the questions. Once again, thank you very much. And now I would like to request Dr. Ram to close the session.
Okay, Ghaneji, thank you very much for nice presentations. And I think still we have to respond one question. So how can we get certificate? There is one question. Maybe these respected persons might be new persons, because you can generate this webinar certificate by yourself through online. That's why we have provided you the password, like and number. So if you couldn't, please write to CPSC, we will provide you. But it is automatic generation system there for certificate. You will get certificate. Okay, once again, thank you everyone. Thank you TVET professionals, director, principals, instructors, deputy directors, and all the very renowned TVET professionals from the Asia Pacific region and the globe. On behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to thank all of you for your valuable time and for your dedications. Even though you are the busy persons and some of you have already crossed 50, even though you have a great attitude for the learning. That's why life is a great thing, up to last date of our life. This is a lifelong learning process. We have to learn. And once again, thank you from CPSC side. Tomorrow we have presentations related to learning domain. And one of our resource speakers is from Bangladesh. He is not a new person. Most of you know because he is very active in webinar. Mohammad Saha Mazumdar sir, and he is a very active member in the Bangladesh, and he is one of the active TVET professional, government employee, and he is the key member of the IDB, Institute of Diploma Engineer Bangladesh also. Hope to see you. Thank you very much. Namaste and stay at home. Be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Ram.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the very nice session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salam madam, daklam.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Malaikum salam.
All the best.
Salam alaikum.
Madam, all the best.
Thank you all. Bye.
আল্লাহ হাফেজ, সবাই নিরাপদে থাকবেন, ভালো থাকবেন। হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম,
চেম্বার নাকি সাজুকি চেম্বার নাকি অফিস নাকি ম্যাডাম
কোভিড-19 কি ঘরে চলে